Hello, everyone. Music is a wonderful language for bringing people together. And today I wanted to tell you about a project I created that uses the power of music to express our unity and the global aspiration for peace. The project is called 32 Bright Clouds Beethoven Conversations Around the World. And I conceived of it one day when I was at home looking at the newspaper headlines and feeling as if I was surrounded by an atmosphere of fear and anger and words and attitudes that create divisiveness. I thought, is there anything I can do using my own medium of expression, which is music, to transform that space of alienation and fear into a space where we are curious about the other, where we find joy and excitement in discovering both our unique qualities and our innate similarities. The result of that one evening is the project 32 Bright Clouds. I go around the world and I commission new piano compositions from composers in countries of conflict and also places with unique cultural identities. All the new works carry with them a message of peace. This is achieved by using a single group of notes. These are the ones marked in red circles, a peace motif. This motif is taken from one of the greatest works ever written by one of the greatest composers, the timeless Missa Solemnis by Beethoven. Specifically, this is the Dona Nobis Pacem motif, and you can see the words Pacem, Pacem, peace, peace, at the end of the motif. Each one of the new works includes this group of notes, unifying the entire cycle of new compositions and portraying our shared human experience. In addition, each one of the new compositions includes a musical connection to one of Beethoven's 32 piano sonatas, therefore the number 32. This year we're celebrating Beethoven's 250th anniversary. And I think not only of his music, but of the fact that he was the first composer to claim independence as an artist and to speak of equality and freedom of expression, all subjects that are being explored in the new compositions through specific dedications. Here are a few examples. The composer Ananda Sukarlan from Indonesia wrote the very first piece for the 32 Bright Clouds project. The piece is called No More Moonlight over Jakarta, and you can see on the right the first page of the score. It's dedicated to a man known as Ahok, who was the ex-governor of Jakarta. As it happens, Ahok's name in Indonesian means moonlight. So the composer chose to connect his work with Beethoven's well-known Moonlight Sonata. When I first performed the piece, Ahok was unjustly imprisoned. And I was surprised and also delighted that the organization Amnesty International used this particular concert to hold a press conference supporting the release of Ahok from prison. Seeing this impact that a piece of music can make was very meaningful to me and was also very encouraging as I continue commissioning new works from around the world. The music itself includes many different styles, showing that Jakarta is a melting pot of people from many different ethnic origins. It includes Chinese modes and rock and pop influences and traditional gamelan from Indonesia. And in the red circles, you can see one example of the peace motif in this work. Another example is the composer Milad Yusufi from Afghanistan. Milad grew up in Afghanistan at the time of Taliban rule there, when music was completely banned. And I find it astonishing that he was able to become a wonderful musician despite these restrictive circumstances. Milad is a composer, a calligrapher, a poet, and a painter. And when I commissioned the new work, Below, it came with a poem as well as a painting. Music, words, and a visual representation as one artistic expression. The poem is called To My Mother, and the entire piece is dedicated to the composer's mother as well as other Afghan refugees. If you'd like to take your time reading the poem, I'm including it in the link below this video. Here's the painting depicting an Afghan landscape superimposed with Arabic calligraphy. And this is the peace motif in this composition. And a final example today is the composer Adina Izara from Venezuela. Her piece is called Arieta for the 150, and it's dedicated to the 150 young people who died during the peace demonstrations in 2017 in Caracas. This dedication is very personal to the composer. She told me that her own son participated in the demonstrations, and even though he was unharmed, it still became too dangerous for the family to stay there. And they were able to move to Ecuador, which is where the composer is right now, waiting and hoping that Venezuela becomes a safe home again. Here's the peace motif in her composition. So as you can see, three very different people with very different backgrounds and very different musical styles, all joined together through their aspiration for peace. It's been a wonderful adventure for me to connect with composers from around the world and to learn about them and their cultures. And I hope that through the experience of great music, we can grow as people and we can be excited about our different and unique ways. Thank you for watching. This was my very first PowerPoint presentation ever. And I'm glad we have this tool so that I can share with you in a visual way as well. If you'd like to listen to samples of some of the works I mentioned in the video, I'll be including links below. As you know, these are very difficult times. And when it comes to the performing arts community, there are some very serious and real concerns about the future. There's really nothing like music that's being shared in front of a live audience. But that has been taken away from us, at least for now. I know that in my case, I was just about to offer several recitals that combine the 32 Bright Clouds pieces with Beethoven sonatas. One of these recitals was scheduled for the middle of March at the Smithsonian in Washington, just a few days after all public gatherings ended. And the hope is, of course, that this and other concerts will be rescheduled one day. But as you know, everything right now is in flux. At the moment, due to the fact that we are unable to meet in person, all of my concerts have been either canceled or postponed indefinitely. So I'm also including a few links below if you can help. If you can help so that I can continue commissioning new works from composers around the world, you can make a contribution that will go directly to the composers. Or if you can help me personally at the time when all concert income is gone, I would certainly very much appreciate it. And I'm including a link for that as well. I feel that in some ways, music is one of our most wonderful tools for healing, for nourishment, and for communication at this time. And I want to thank you for watching and for participating in this project and in all that music has to offer. Thank you.